was like, if there's 75% of chances to have a miscarriage with this test, why would you push me to do it? I was believing in God. Even though I'll tell God, how much I hate this life that He is giving me and everything. At that moment, I told myself, if you just jump, you forget about everything. You forget about everything. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mervy. For everyone who's new here, you guys are welcome to the channel, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, click on the bell notification so you don't miss any time I post a new video. Today's video will be a story time. Yes guys, for some reason I'm really excited because this is my first story time here on the channel, and I'm just so happy to do it. And today I'll be sharing about my pregnancy experience or my pregnancy journey, how it was like to be pregnant, how was I feeling, everything that just was going on during my pregnancy. And I would just like to mention as well that every single pregnancy is totally different. Each woman experienced their pregnancy their own way. This is just my personal experience, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So first of all, I'll start with how did I find out that I was pregnant? I found out that I was pregnant in January 2022. I did a pregnancy test at home and it was positive. I ran to my husband. I was like, I am pregnant. Yeah, I was so excited, and it was like, oh, this is a prank. And I remember that period of time, there were a lot of pranks on social media about fake pregnancy, like fake pregnancy announcements and stuff like that. I was like, this is not a prank. This is not a prank, it's true. But I was not believing, so I took a second test, and the second test was positive as well. So yes, I was definitely pregnant. But how did I really find out, personally, to even do a test? And I remember 2 weeks prior to that test, I was not feeling well, and me and my husband just came back to Canada from a long trip in Congo. So there were foods that I wanted to eat. I was just like, oh, once I get back, I'll eat this and that. And there was this particular crepe that I really like to eat. And when we came, I think a week later, my husband bought it for me. I couldn't eat it. It was tasting bad. Like, it's just so bad. I was not feeling like eating it. And at that moment, my husband was like, maybe something is wrong with you. You should take a pregnancy test. So I was like, maybe, maybe not. But I finally took a test and it came out negative. So I was like, okay, so I'm not pregnant. Just the food was not good. But I kept feeling the nausea was coming. I couldn't eat anything else. I was just like, all the food tastes bad. I can't stand your smell. And I decided, I'm gonna take another test. And that is when I took the test and came out positive. So the next day when I took the second test, I called my doctor's office to book an appointment. I booked an appointment, and the lady was just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give you an appointment in 2 weeks. Like, this should be your priority. It is my priority. I'm pregnant and I need to find out, how is this baby? How is she, like, or how is he? How is the baby doing? And you're giving me an appointment in 2 weeks. I was really a little bit upset, and she was like, oh, that is the only appointment that we have, like the earliest, blah, blah, blah. So I just took that appointment, and then after 2 weeks, I went there. I did the test and everything. So they called me, I think 3 days later, to let me know, yes, you are definitely pregnant, and then you should book your first appointment. So I was really, really happy. And at that moment, we knew that we could share it with close people. So I'll just share a little bit about like my eating habits, what I was eating during different stages of my pregnancy. And I remember on my first trimester, I was not eating at all. Like, all the food was just tasting so bad, and the smell of meat or the smell of any kind of food I couldn't stand it. And on my second trimester, I definitely started, to get bad appetite, and I could eat food like normal food. And the thing was, I will eat food, like I'll eat very well if someone else cooked the food. God is good. There is my sister Love. We were living in the same building when I was pregnant, and every single time I would just call her and say, "Can you make this for me? I just feel like eating this." Sometimes she'll even text me, "What are you feeling like eating?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I feel like eating this," and then she'll make it for me. Oh my goodness! So whenever she'll cook, she'll just bring me the food, or just go to a place and eat. It was really a blessing. Yeah, I thank God for her, for even Meta, my two sisters here in Winnipeg. They would just make everything, so that I could eat. They would always call me, "What did you eat?" I remember Meta would always text me, "Did you eat something today? Can I bring you something?" Oh, guys, you guys made this period, I thank God for you guys' life. I thank God for that. Yeah, so if you're pregnant, definitely have people that can cook for you, because for me, I couldn't eat my own food. Just if someone else cooked it, it was tasting so much better. That pretty much what was going on in the second trimester. And on my third trimester, I started to like even my own food. If I cook, I'll eat it, I'll have the appetite and everything. But I was not eating too much. Like on that period, I'll drink just something and feel really full. That period, like your belly is too big and you just feel like full. You're out of breath all the time, so you cannot eat that much. But yeah, that is pretty much what was going on with my eating habits. But the nausea, when I was on my second trimester, I was not feeling so much nauseous anymore. I would not even vomit or have nauseous. But on my third trimester, at the end of the pregnancy, I started to feel, more nauseous again. I started to feel just like I wanted like to puke or anything like that. But yeah, it was not as bad as the first trimester though. But so I'll just now share about my health during my pregnancy. I'll say I had a pretty healthy pregnancy. Like physically, I was doing okay. Other than the fact that I was not eating very well in the beginning, but I was healthy. Everything was going very well, healthy wise. And I'm just gonna share this experience when I was pregnant. When I went for my second, like after the doctor called me to book a pregnancy appointment, so I went there, I booked, and then we discussed. And then he told me, "Oh, there's this test, there's this blood test that's here in Canada we usually due to women when they're pregnant, most likely with your first baby, to know if they have Down syndrome. They have a chance to have Down syndrome or any other kind of just problem with your baby." I was like, "Okay, like I'll do it." So they gave me the paperwork. I went to the lab. I did the test. I remember there was this one day I was at work and my doctor just called me. "Oh, yeah, do you have time to talk?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And it was like, "Oh, the test came and it's positive. Your baby has definitely chances to have Down syndrome. So you should come to the hospital. We should discuss about it." Guys, your first pregnancy, and they're telling you things like that. I don't know, like how you feel. And I was like, "Oh my God, what is going on?" So I kept quiet, I kept calm. I remember I called my husband. I told him, "Oh, this is what the doctor said." He was pretty positive. He was just like, "Okay, just book the appointment and go and talk to him. There is no major issue. I don't think, I don't think it's that serious." And when I went to the doctor's office, he made it seem so serious, guys, that I was so scared. He was like, "Oh no, you should really, a lot of women will just maybe abort the baby. You should really think about this. It's a big decision. Are you really willing to bring a child in this world with, a health issue that they'll have all their life? How would you react? How would you?" It was too much. It was too much. I was like, "Hold on, I need to take this, go back home, think about it, and I'll let you know what I decide." Because he told me, "Oh, there's options to do, like if further testing and all of that." So I went back home, and then I think one of the things that he proposed to me was to do a ultrasound to see, the baby inside of my belly, how the baby was developing and everything. So when I went back home, I told my husband, we both prayed. And when I went for the ultrasound, because the doctor was like, after the ultrasound, there's further testing that they can do and something like that. So when I went to the ultrasound, the doctor was like, "Oh, your baby looks pretty healthy. Your baby looks good." That doctor was really like an angel for me. She was like, your baby looks so good. I don't really think you need further testing because the next test, if you do it, there's 75% of chances that, you might have a miscarriage. And I was like, what? At that moment, when I told my husband was like, our baby's fine. We're not going to do further testing. And the doctor called me, my midwife called me. They were like, oh, maybe you should just you should just do further testing because if you have a baby with a health issue, how would you handle it? Blah, blah, blah. When we prayed about it, I just felt peace. And I remember what that doctor told me. She was like, I've been doing this for the past maybe 20 years. So whenever I see a baby make ultrasound, I know when they have an issue or not. Your baby's perfect. That was an angel. And I just told my doctor, no, I'm not doing any further testing. My baby's fine. And I even told my midwife, no, you don't have to worry, my baby's fine. And she kept she was kind of pushing, you should just do this. It was like, if there's 75% of chances to have a miscarriage with this test, why would you push me to do it? But anyways, I didn't do the test. I was just like, my baby's fine, it's fine. And yeah, my baby was fine. So yeah, that was one of the experiences that kind of scared me during pregnancy. But other than that, I was pretty healthy. Other than that, I also had I think low platelets count. I don't really know what is platelets or whatever. It's kind of like blood cells or whatsoever. It was kind of like it was getting very low every single stage of my pregnancy. Until I gave birth, actually, I was still like in a very low. So the last point I'll share will be how I felt mentally. How was I feeling when I was pregnant? How did I take it personally? That big life change. And I'll tell you guys, I'll just be true with you. It was a moment where so much things happened, and not everyone knows about everything that I'm going to share here because I'm the type of person who really, I'll sometimes hide things and not share it with others. And during my pregnancy, I was really, really depressed. I was anxious. I was just have anxiety about everything. And I remember even that test that I did, when the doctor was like, oh, your baby has few chances of having Down syndrome or whatever. The anxiety that I was feeling, I carried that anxiety all my pregnancy. From the moment they told me that, I was just so anxious that, oh, is my baby going to be okay? Even though I decided, that I'm not going to go with further testing. I know my baby is okay. I'll proclaim it. I'll pray. I'll just, say positive things about my baby. But still, that didn't stop the fact that I was feeling, I was not okay. I was so anxious. Every single time I just start thinking, is this baby going to be okay? So when I got pregnant in 2022, it was almost a year later that I lost my dad. And at that period, I'll say I was still grieving because the prior year I would cry every single day because I was still grieving my dad. I was still feeling I'll do a separate video where I'll be talking about my grieving experience. But when I was pregnant, I was still grieving. And so I was still crying every single day. And for those who knew, I went back to Congo because when my dad passed, I just dropped everything, dropped my job, everything. I just went back to Congo. I couldn't do anything else. For me, it was just the end of the world, So when I came back here and just getting back in Canada, the winter, everything was just not for me anymore. I was used to the sun, the people in Africa, and everything was just so nice when I was in Congo. And just coming back here, being by myself at home, my husband would go to work. And when I came, when I got pregnant, I also find a job. I work from home. And that job was also stressful, but wow, everything was just the end of the world for me. I was not doing okay. I'll cry every single day. I'll cry every single night. I was just crying every single day. Like every single day of my pregnancy, I cried. Those hormones were really getting into me. I was crying every single day. Like I was just not okay mentally. I was not okay. My relationship with my husband was not going well. Like we would just fight every single day for no reason. I was just like, why did I even marry this man? Why did I even marry this man? Like there was actually a lot of things also going on in my life at that period of time, and what I was just thinking about the future of my child, and I was just planning everything in my head. It was a lot. I was not okay. And I remember even when I went to see my midwife for the first time, she was like, oh, if you start feeling really bad, you start to feel like you're depressed, you start to feel like you're not okay mentally, give me a call. If you start to have like suicidal thoughts, give me a call. And I was like, that was I think a few weeks after my pregnancy. I'm going to have my baby and I'm going to have suicidal thoughts or to be depressed for what? I was just like, no, I'm not. That will not happen to me, but it definitely did happen to me, guys. It definitely did happen to me. I thank God that my husband was really understanding that it was just a period, we'll be okay, we'll be fine. Yeah, because we'll be fighting every single day. I was just like mad. I was just crying. I'll cry all night. Like there were nights where I'll just cry all night long. I'll just tell God how much, I hate this life, how much I hate everything, how much, everything was hard. And yeah, this is just to say, when you are in a certain period of your life, you really need the right people to be there with you. And yeah, mentally, like even though physically I was okay, I was doing okay, but mentally I was not okay during the pregnancy period. It was really a tough period for me. It was really a tough period, and I experienced a lot of depression. And I remember there were this day, because I was working from home, as I said before. I was working from home, and my husband was always going to work. And when I was pregnant, we were living in a building. We were living in the 11th floor of a building. So there were I had this habit every single morning, before work. I'll just do my tea and I'll just go to the balcony, drink tea, I just start thinking so many things. I'll just look at the car passing over there. And there was this one day I remember, I think when I was 6 months pregnant or 7 months, I don't really remember, but I think it was around June or July. I went out as usual with my cup of tea, and I started to look down. I started to think, and all those thoughts, negative thoughts, all those anxieties started to come. Or maybe this baby is not going to be healthy. Maybe you will not be able to take care of this baby. Maybe you do not have enough financially, because we're also having like some financial issue at the moment. Like there were so many things going on in my life at that period, and I started to think about all of that. At that moment, I told myself, if you just jump, you forget about everything. You forget about everything. And that voice kept coming in me, just jump. You're going to forget. Like you're going to forget. You're not even having another bill in your life. You not even bring this baby in this world, and you not bring them here to suffer because you're not doing okay financially, you're not doing okay in your relationship with your husband, like everything is just going wrong on the wrong side. Just jump and let everything behind you. I started to think that, and at that moment I was just like, yeah, maybe it's true, I should just maybe jump. And at that moment, I really understood how the people who commit suicide feel. And I think what really saved me at that time was I started to think about my family. Besides, I was thinking about my mom. I was thinking about how we lost our dad, the way I felt. The way I felt when I lost my dad. I was just like, if I jump, I die today, how will my mom feel? I was just like, I cannot give her another, I cannot give her another pain. Like, I don't know. I was just thinking, maybe if I jump, my mom will also want me to die or something like that. Because losing your husband, then your daughter, and then your grandchild, when I started to think about that pain, the way I felt when I lost my dad, I was just like, don't do it. You're going to give them so much pain. You're going to give them so much pain. Don't do it. Don't jump. And I started to cry on that balcony. I don't even know that day if I walked through really well. I started to cry there. I was just like, Dad, why do you hate me so much? I hate this life. Why did you bring me here? What am I doing here? Like, I hate this life. I don't want to be here. There's so much things going on. Everything is going on the wrong side. Like, what am I still doing here? Just take my life. Why do you want me to jump? Just take it naturally. I don't want to jump. And then there's so much going on. And I was just crying in the balcony. It was really a tough period mentally. Like, I was not okay. People see you, outside laughing and everything, but they usually don't know what's going on inside. And they usually don't know what's going on when you are by yourself in your house or in your room. A lot of nights I was not sleeping. Like, I don't know if it's maybe just the pregnancy symptoms, you not sleeping, but I was not sleeping. I was just not sleep at night. A lot of thinking every single night. I would just sit there in the bed, start thinking how much I hate my husband, how much I hate this life, how much I hate, so many things. And something is real, like, wow. It was really a tough period. That's pretty much what I can say. It was a tough period, and that's why I'm saying when you're pregnant, also just advise, a pregnant woman out there or someone who's like you're willing to become a mom in the future or that will bless you in the future. Pregnancy is a tough period. Like, it depends, as I said before, but for me it was a tough period, and I believe for many others also it has been tough because it's a lot of change, and those hormones doesn't do just like and the hormones and everything. You might not feel 100% you, but I'll just advise you, pray. Even if you're not pregnant now, just pray for the moment when you become pregnant, and even when you be pregnant, pray. Because I really think I was saved not kill myself at that time because I was praying for my pregnancy, and I was believing in God. Even though I'll tell God, how much I hate this life that He is giving me and everything, but every single night, whenever I was in the house, my husband might remember those periods very well. I'll just cry, put like some worship music, and then start crying, start praying for my child out loud, start declaring things for her life. I start to pray for my pregnancy, for healthy delivery. I'll pray for hours. I'll cry, I'll pray, and then I'll just remember that how much I prayed, like all those years prior to me getting pregnant, and why I was experiencing all of that. And yeah, just saying God is good. Like, God is good, and if you trust Him, He'll come through for you. He'll be there for you. And I really believe that God was there for me, because those thinking didn't just go away one day. Every single day I was avoiding going to the balcony. That was the last day that I drank my tea on the balcony. I was not just going to the balcony anymore. And I think even my husband might remember, I just closed that door. All the time that he would want to open the balcony door, I was like, oh no, leave it closed. Like, I just don't want us to go out anymore. Sometimes when he's there, like if he goes out, I'll go out with him, but I know I'm with someone, I'm not alone. But that thought was like, who keep coming, just jump and leave everything behind you. Leave all these worries and suffering and everything, just leave it behind. But I really think God was there to protect me and not let me, make the biggest mistake of my life, because today I'm a really happy mom, and I would give anything to be with my daughter, to have time with her. So the devil is a liar, and that is just to advise someone or just tell you if you're going through tough time, might not even be like on your pregnancy journey, but just in life in general, you're going through time when you start thinking about killing yourself or anything. If it's that deep, you need to seek help. You need to talk to someone, you need to go out there, seek people that can help you. But if God can really come through for you and help you, also pray, 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 pray. And yeah, it's really important. And I'll just really, want to pray for everyone out there. I pray that God will help a pregnant woman who is going through depression. God will help a pregnant woman who is going through a tough moment right now. I pray that God will help you, not maybe end your life. I pray that God will help you get through everything and give you the joy, give you the peace that you need. Yeah, pray for that. And yes, guys, may God bless you all. So this is it for today's video. That was pretty much my pregnancy journey, how it went, how I was feeling, how everything went down. And I'll do a second part where I'll share with you how was my labor journey. The things that I was fearing the most was the moment I'll give birth to my child, and I'll definitely share how it went. How was it? Was it like a C-section? Was it a vaginal birth? I'll share that in my next video. I really hope someone enjoyed today's video. If you did, what are you waiting to subscribe to the channel? So subscribe, like the video, and click on the bell notification so you don't miss my next video. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.